Okay, this lecture is going to go over how to create a 3D point cloud using some scans from a 3D laser scanner that we worked on in class. This here, using Autodesk ReCap Pro, which is a different software from Revit, but Autodesk makes this as well. And so this is what you would use to view pictures, 3D scans to create this point cloud. So first thing that you're going to want to do is be sure you open up ReCap Pro. The next one is I have some scans up here, and so you want to download that zip file. And then what we want to do is I'll open that zip file up. You're going to see we have 12 scans, and so we're going to essentially merge 12 scans together, and then be able to take that scan data and put it into Revit. So I'm going to go here, zip file, extract files. I'm going to put them on my desktop, that way I know where they're at. Okay, so now I have, instead of the big Z, I have just my regular files right here. And I can open that up, and you'll see I'm going to keep those files here because when I put them in, I'm going to import them in here. So I'll try to keep this over to the side. All right, I'm going to do new project here. And when I do new project, I'm going to say import point cloud. So now it's going to let me create that project. I'll do Nelson 313. Here, I'm going to go back to my desktop, and I'll go to that 3D scans folder, and that's where I'm going to put that. So I'm going to select my folder here. All right, and so next one I'll hit proceed. So now what I want to do is I want to take these 12 files here. I'm going to hit Control or Shift. I'm going to highlight them all, and I will drag those into my folders here, and it's going to say that I have 12 files to be imported. Okay, I will hit Import Files. And so what's going to happen is you're going to kind of get, these are going to start essentially processing. And it takes a little bit of time to process. And so you probably have a little bit of stop-go with this. Right now I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and I'm just going to let these 12 files process here. Sometimes they go fast. It depends on your computing power. They are pretty big files. And then we'll get back here once they are all processed, and I'll move to the next part. Okay, now the computer, hopefully we're able to get all these point clouds registered. So now you should be able to see it. They look like a little bit of different globe. It will take some time. I was kind of looking here. Probably took my machine probably 5 minutes to do all this. So it could take, depending on the ones in the lab, up to 20-30 minutes, so be prepared. The next thing you want to do, and this is careful, is you don't want to get ahead, is when you go over here it says do not click auto register scans to start. Okay, we want to do a manual registration. So all I did was just highlight over this, and then I'll go up and I'll hit manual registration. Okay, so we have a lab that's set here that you can see. So we have a 3D picture. So that's the first one that we took. And then what we want to do is we want to try to merge these scans. So I'm going to hit this down here. And so basically what it's doing is we're going to register 2 scans together. And the way it does that is it has has different points. We want to match different points that are in here. And I'll say, okay, I got it. If you notice already, we found a match. And it gives you a little preview of what's going on. So the match that we have is good. We could hit merge scan and move on. However, I kind of want to show you a little bit about what happens if we don't get a match. So what we'd want to do is we would want to kind of match points, similar points in here. So I'll take that receptacle, The other thing I would probably do, maybe something on the back wall, do the printer. Actually, I'll go over to this side and I'll be sure I hit my receptacle. So what I'm doing is I'm matching up green to green, and then let's see what I got here. We could easily do. Okay, so now I got some blue spots, blue dots, and let's see what else I can find. Kind of like to do different planes, like ceiling. So example, I'm gonna maybe try to do that point up here, which in turn is actually this point here. So now that we have our 3 matches, it knows where we're going. I can hit merge scan. And usually if you have a yellow, you're going to be okay. You want to have green all the way around. I'm going to hit approve. So now I move to my next scan here. And automatically it's going to, sorry, there's some people there. I'm just going to hit merge scan. I'm not going to do the point. If I have it, I don't have to worry about it. And sometimes it goes ahead, and if if we have a good match, it just skips it over and keeps moving to the next one. Okay, now we have a doorway. This one here, I'll probably try to match just to be sure. I can kind of preview what's going on. And see if there's something here we could get. Just gonna do okay, so now we have a hallway scan here. It says we have a merge or one already. So I'm going to hit merge scan. I'll see if it can pick it up. Okay. I can reject it if I don't like it. So sometimes I'm just going to go ahead and reject one here so we can, now I'm going to go back and say, okay, well, I didn't like that. I'm going to go ahead and get my marks. Set a mark here at the end. Down there. And let me see if I can find something else. Sometimes it'll merge better. Sometimes I'll still get, something yellow here. Doesn't look like it got any better. So I'll hit approve. Okay, now we're out here. I'll hit merge scan again. Approve. Okay, now you got to be tricky because we ended up going back into this classroom here. So what I need to do is move to a different scan. Here's one right out here in this hallway, and that one's going to match up very well with 4 here. So I'm going to go ahead and that one worked fine. This one's here. I'm going to work my way. 09. Alright, this one's going to be tricky. See if it picks it up. Yeah, it does kind of know where it's at. So you probably be okay just to go with it. But I'm going to go ahead and take some marks here. Okay, I think my recorder kicked us out there, but I'm back in. So we have another match here. I want to get that one approved. Now we're working our way into the classroom. We'll see if it searches for a match. It found one. Merge scan. Once you kind of get into more big open spaces, it works a little better. Like I said, somebody was asking about the camera. You can see it does pick up stills, but if you're continually moving, then you have certain issues that pop up. Okay. Now over here, I want to go back to this scan. And now these should be able to create a couple matches. This one may take a minute. I'm gonna Okay. Now, as you can see here, we should have kind of the whole point cloud set up for these Kemper. It's all twisted, but that's okay. We're going to index the scans and we'll get that fixed. So once you have everything, and if it looks remotely clean, this looks clean to me, nice sharp edges, you can see the desk in the background, you're going to want to hit index scans. Okay. And it'll take a little bit to index scans here. I'm saying that's 5% here. So I'm going to pause this and let these scans index, and then we'll hop back into it. Okay, now that you have give it some time to index everything, I can launch the project. Okay, so once I launch the project, now I have a nice 3D cloud. Okay, and the way I'm orbiting like this is I'm holding the shift key down and I'm using my pushing down on my mouse wheel. Okay, so I can navigate around. You can see there's a little bit of what I call point cloud noise. A lot of that has to do with the reflections, that you're getting through the windows. So if you have certain windows that are open, what you can do in that point cloud here is we can cruise in. We can go to that 3D picture that we had placed. We can go around that 3D picture. If I go to the home button and then settings, I'm going to change that to inches and feet. Hit OK. Now I can get any distance that I want. And so what's my ceiling height here in Kemper is roughly 10 feet in this option here, right? So I just got a distance there, but I was doing a 10 feet. Okay. And you can cruise around between orbit and orbit or wherever your picture's at. So it's really handy that, here I just basically walk down here in a matter of a couple seconds, and we can do the same measurements and everything as well. So if I want to go back, go to my 3D view, and we have it set. Okay, the one thing I'm going to try here to do is see how we have this grid system that's set, kind of an XY. And so what's handy if you can do it, and we'll give it a shot here, is we want to try to create a point where our X is exactly where we want it to be. Okay. So I'll try to find one corner here that's set. This may be a little tricky because we didn't really find a good corner. That's probably a good corner right here. So I'm going to set my XY axis up here, and give me just a minute. It's been a moment since I've done this, so it may take 2 iterations, maybe get it right on the first time. Okay, so what we want to do is go to, give me just 1 second here. We're going to update origin. And so it says click to update the location of the origin, press enter to confirm, or tab to update the orientation of the coordination system. Okay, so I'm going to put my click right in this corner here. All right, so I have that, and I'll hit tab. Now click to update the direction of the x-axis, and so I want to be sure that I believe is up here. Nope. We'll kick that direction on this plane. Okay. And then press enter to confirm, or alt to flip. I don't need to do that. I'll hit enter. And then I want to put the x-axis. I'm going to put that over on here. And then I should do alt to flip. So now I have my Y going up. I'll hit enter. And hopefully I can create the correct, oops, I did not do it correctly. So now what would happen, that would turn in, my z-axis is incorrect here. So now I've changed that plane, and so what would happen if I entered it into Revit, it would go the wrong direction. Okay, so I'm going to fix that. Told you it might take me just a second here, but it gives you an opportunity to play around with it again. Update origin. Okay, so I have Z. Let me be sure to get this here. X, Y. Z we want to move up. Okay, so what I did is I went underneath and I clicked on the floor. So now my z-axis is moving up. So now I'll hit enter to confirm. My Y and X are set fine. I'll hit enter. Now I have a nice set point that's there. Everything should line up a little bit better than what we had it before based on that wall. All right, so the next thing I want to do is be sure I save this. Okay, so now I want you to open up Revit, and we're going to get this point cloud put into the model here. If you move from a computer, you need to be sure that you take the recap file. If you notice here, it's a very small amount. What you really need is this support file that goes with it. And so you can see the size of the files are very large. So you need to be sure that you take 2 files with you. If you leave and go do something else, you need to be sure you save down these 2 files. The 331 support and then the recap file. And this recap file is going to reference this support file. So if you just drag this and move on, I know I'll get 2 or 3 emails of you lost your point cloud. This is exactly what happened here. So now I'm going to hit insert. I can close out a recap. Do insert point cloud. I will go find the point cloud. Hit open. Okay. And hopefully it comes in for you some level. And so what you kind of have to do is rotate it around. My suggestion is to highlight your point cloud, hit rotate. Rotate it 90 degrees. Let's be sure the north arrow, actually, we'll do this, rotate it another 90 degrees. North is going to be up. And you'll notice we didn't quite get it set. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a section here. Okay, let me look at my 3D view. I'm going to expand out my level here. Go back to my section. Going to be sure my floor is set. So now you can see when you cut a section, everybody's still working. It just depends on where it's at. So I'll go back to the 3D view. One thing is that it's a little bit off, and so I'm going to rotate, highlight the point cloud, rotate it 0.2. Now I have it setting pretty much straight. Go back to my Kemper second floor. Now I kind of want to square up this, so a lot of times I'll do I'll go ahead and do this. So annotate detail line. I know this wall should be straight over here. So now I just slightly rotate my point cloud, like 0.25. Small increments until I'm sure that I have everything square. Go with 0.15 here. Getting really close. Again. Here more. There we go. Now we have that 0.1 set. Okay. So now we can come in, and what you'll do is you just go ahead and draw everything that you have. You can set different views in here. So if I want to do view range, I can set like a minus, let's say -1 space 0, -1 space 0. Now you can really basically capture everything that we're going to have on the floor. You can see the wall that's coming through here. So now part of your assignment is to basically use this point cloud and to recreate these two classrooms with furniture, some doors. And the way you do that is you're going to have to do architectural. You can pick your wall. So now what you're doing is an underlay here. Looks like point cloud is just a hair off. Got it set. Can look at my section. See that's extending up. That's okay. We didn't really look above. But as I move that, you can see, well, here's my gap. It's pretty much an 8-inch wall between the two. So now everything is set. Then you can do concrete wall. CMU is fine for everything here. Okay, so I'll let everybody kind of get back to drawing this. Part of the assignment that you'll have. See if I have it here, open here. Okay, you're going to use Recap Pro to match the scans on Blackboard. Recreate rooms 205, 207, hallway to the room, second floor atrium. Using the scans, add room names, room numbers. Be sure you're going to actually name the sheet Kemper second floor. Be sure detail 1 is the second floor plan, which is going to be the floor plan you're going to create. So you're going to have to be sure that you place all these items in here on your sheet. It's already on there. Okay, set to get the scale to match. So that's kind of going to be detail 1. May need to work on the scale. I'm going to show you real fast. If you come in here, I'm going to do crop. I'm going to go back to second floor plan. Okay, probably going to want to crop this out just a little bit, like so. All right, now it'll fit on your sheet fine. And be sure you hide the point cloud. So one thing that you'll do as you're doing this, if I go to second floor, I go to View, Visibility Graphics, and on point clouds, I can turn off my point clouds. Okay, then you'll be able to show the whole floor plan. Let's see what else. I want to do a section through 205, 207. So I already had a section here. You guys just share that. 3D view, put a 3D view on there, and then you want to. I want you to show the desks, the chairs, the computers to match the scans. Show the point cloud in the section. Show point cloud in 3D view. Provide a north arrow. Should be able just to go to architecture, annotate symbol, and north arrow. And scale drawing section to maximize the space on sheet. So I just want to be sure you only submit one sheet here for this whole thing. So, all right, hopefully kind of you're able to get through everything with the software and computer hardware that we have available. So thank you.